Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara and I do videos primarily about makeup no-buys, project pans, which is a very specific niche in the beauty community here on YouTube. But recently, because of the events that transpired over the past few months with the murder of George Floyd, I've been wanting to try to incorporate more well thought out videos and thinking about how I can incorporate talking about race issues into the makeup no-buy sphere on YouTube. And this was actually quite a challenge because I don't talk about people or brands. I know a lot of makeup channels talk about the beauty industry as a whole or about the makeup brands that they're buying from, but I don't actually buy makeup. I've been on a makeup no-buy for like a year and a half now, so I haven't bought makeup in a long time and I haven't actually been thinking about privilege, and race issues is just not really something that I've considered in making videos. So I thought about the kind of videos I could do and I decided to talk about whiteness within the beauty industry here on YouTube. I think by starting very specific and looking at our own personal interests and niche and then expanding that and looking a bit wider and further afield, we can make some really interesting observations. Whiteness in no-buy beauty community really extends to whiteness in the beauty community on YouTube and YouTube in general. So why is this? Why is beauty YouTube so white? One theory I have is maybe it's not a comfortable space for people of color because of the racism in the beauty communities. So Jeffree Star, I've never watched Jeffree Star. I don't know too much about him, but pretty much everything I hear about him is negative, and a lot of that seems to have to do with racism. So maybe some people don't feel welcome and they don't want to create channels because they don't see people like themselves creating YouTube videos. Another reason might be because brands are straight up not paying people of color as much as other influencers. Tiffany Furry actually did a video about this on Dote and some really awful things that they've done. Another reason is just like straight up racism. Like, people are more likely to watch white YouTubers. Now I want to note that there is some diversity within the YouTube beauty community. Michelle Phan was one of the first people I watched and she is Asian. There's Louise Pentland, who is white, but she does talk about body image struggles and being plus size. There's Ingrid Nilsson, who is again one of the biggest, and she is queer and biracial, although she is pretty white passing and she has spoken about this before. There are even some really big trans stars such as Gigi Gorgeous and Nikita, although there is some drama around both of them, so not sure if that's a really good example. Now, if you look up whiteness and YouTube, there's a ton of videos on this, and you should definitely take people of color, especially people from the BIPOC community, before taking my word for this, because I'm just theorizing based on what I've seen, but I cannot speak for people of color. So please go and listen to their thoughts and their experiences on YouTube because they will have a much more informed point of view. I would just like to add my voice to this in the hopes that it will be helpful and not performative or taking away from other people. I did a little bit more research into like racist YouTubers and I found some pretty disturbing articles. So there's a lot of racist beauty gurus out there, some of the biggest ones. So it's not just Jeffree Star. And there are lots of videos about what it's like to be black on YouTube. I've seen a couple show up in my subscription box over the past couple days, so I will link some of those here because, again, listen to them, don't listen to me. Now, there is so much that you could say about whiteness on YouTube and even just whiteness within the beauty industry. There's a lot that you could get into there, but I wanted to narrow this down and kind of stay in my lane, and I thought it'd be interesting to discuss this in a very specific area, which is makeup no-buys in the beauty community at the intersection of race. Did a little bit of research for this video, and my first thought was, what comes up when you search makeup no-buy on YouTube? What is the racial makeup of people in the videos that first come up? And also, is what I'm exposed to different than what other people are exposed to? So I wanted to compare what happens when I search this from my YouTube account compared to if I just open up like a private tab, what comes up for someone who doesn't have an account or someone who is not exposed to this world on YouTube. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel now. So I'm going to search makeup no-buy. Alright, so the first thing that comes up are videos that I've already watched and also my own videos. So we've got Whitney Hedrick, we've got my videos, we've got Kelly Gooch. So Whitney Hedrick and Kelly Gooch are both people that I already watch. I've got some financial diet because they do talk a bit about spending money on makeup in their videos and I watch them. I see Samantha Ravndal, Lauren May Beauty, someone named Dramatic Mac. So these are all white folks. I'm also seeing one woman named Alexa Likes, and it appears she is Latinx because of one of the videos she has on her channel that states this. Now, of course, it is possible that some of these people are people of color or biracial and they're just not visible minorities. So I do want to make that clear, but there's not a lot of color on this page. So when I open up a fresh page, it's like a private window, so it's just the page you see when you don't have an account. So I'm going to type in makeup no buy. Although one thing I did notice is that previously on the homepage of YouTube at the very top there was this big banner that said educational content, Black Lives Matter or something to that effect, and it was just a bunch of different videos and talks and educational resources about black folks and about Black Lives Matter and what's going on right now. But that's no longer there, and I'm a little concerned about why YouTube would have taken it down. I do feel like it's not as hot a topic. I don't want to call it a hot topic, but I sort of expected that YouTube would keep that up for honestly a couple months. I don't know if they were always planning on only having that up for a week or two or whatever the plan was, but if anyone else noticed that, that's now gone. So I'm going to look up makeup no buy. And what do I see here? So it's essentially the same YouTubers. We've got Whitney Hedrick, we've got Alexa Likes, Financial Diet, Samantha Ravndal. See one of my videos, so that's nice that that's showing up. Mallory Brooke, Hannah Louise Poston. I am seeing someone named Matilda who has a last video called Beauty Gives Back, Black Lives Matter, and there's some really positive dialogue in the comments about beauty, politics, and education, so I will link this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort by most views. So makeup no buy, checking what has the highest views and what we see. Okay, some of these videos that are showing up have nothing to do with makeup no buys, so that's kind of weird, but again, I'm seeing the same people. Tara Scott, Kelly Gooch, Whitney Hedrick, so yeah, there's not a ton of diversity here. Alright, so I didn't really learn too much from that. It was pretty much what I expected. Most of the people who I watch who talk about makeup no buys are white, and apparently this is just a microcosm of the industry at large because the most popular people in this niche are white. That's what I'm finding. So if we do want to change things in the beauty community and make it more inclusive, more diverse, have more black voices, then white YouTubers need to champion black voices and black YouTubers and help support black beauty brands. And on the other side of that, we need to call out racist brands and racist YouTubers. I think this is especially incumbent on YouTubers who claim to be ethical, because if your ethical code extends to animals, why does it not extend to racism and other forms of injustice, not just animal cruelty? So I'm going to link some really interesting articles below, as well as some important videos. Please take the time to watch and research this. If we don't think about it, if we don't take the conscious steps to change it, things aren't going to change. This is a really interesting quote I'm going to insert right here about ethical YouTubers and how it is especially incumbent on them to think about the cultural context of their outfits, especially because these people are influencing others. People are looking to them to see how they act. It's really important that these people are acting in ethical ways. I know I use that word a lot, but I feel like it makes the most sense. So that was it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I didn't go too much off the deep end here, but I really wanted to think about my observations about no buys in the beauty community and what the reasons for this are and how we can change in the future. So if you have any suggestions or YouTubers that I should check out, please link them below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Why do I always need to cough after like the first word? I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Sorry, I kind of have to turn away to do this.